welcome back to my channel and to Suzanne at Nonstop Paper Crafts and myself, our collaboration called Bind It All. And this time we're doing the accordion binding. And so I did a practice run and I like this, I really do. But I learned a few things with doing this one because this is my very first attempt at it. And there were some things that I found I was not happy about. And so I tried it on a different one and I became happy. So I did this on a much smaller scale. But this one I like the way this goes together much better. And so what I found was that when you do the accordion, these should be larger. These ones here, sorry, I got stuff all over here. I should have taken them apart. Were not as big as the page, right? So that is why I didn't like that particular way of doing it. This is exactly the same way. I just made this to be more in size with my project. And it folds out nicely. Nice and flat, great journaling spots. Okay, so let's see what I did. So I have pre-made my envelopes. And basically I'm using just envelopes because I want it to be, I like the envelope style. And I did not, I was so frustrated today. This is actually Monday, but I figured I better get it up now because my last video took over 7 hours to get up and uploaded. So I was so frustrated that I actually glued I was putting this piece on to make a piece to go into the outside of the envelope, and what I ended up doing was gluing the whole thing over top. And I went, yep, it's gonna stay that way. So this here is what I did. So this is just a strip of paper, and you're just gonna make this as long as you want it, and as how many hills and valleys you want in it. And I scored these at every 1 inch. And that's what I came up with. And this is just small. This one here, I had 2 of these in 12 by 12 piece of paper that I cut into 3, so 4 inches each, and then accordioned all that together. So this was much more massive, we'll say. This one here is just going to be enough for 6 envelopes. But I figured that's a good thing to try. So if you're using double-sided, you don't care because you'll have the design on either side. If you're using one-sided like I did, you're going to want to make sure that you keep that to the outside. Now, one thing that I found is I took and I glued these together on the back sides. So that left me with just my mountains. And I did that because I found if you leave it like this and put it together, then your book has a tendency to go out like this. And I don't like that. It seems flimsy to me. So my interpretation of doing it, I decided to glue these together. And I will say, if you don't have a scoring, I didn't use a scoring board on these ones. I did on the 12 by 12 that I cut down. But if you don't have a scoring board, you can see that my pieces are a little uneven. Whereas with a scoring board, it's a perfect job every time. So let's go on with this. So I am going to, you can put these in and then cover them up. I decided to embrace them and make it part of my book. You don't want to get it over the edge too much. And so now we have one, and then I'm going to glue this one together. I'm going to keep it down a little further. And I have two, and I'm just going to carry that on. For me, it just seems to give it more stability. You can see right there that my piece is really wonky there, but it's okay. It's okay. It still does what I need it to do. Now we're going to do this one. Okay, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, oops, get back in there. This here, we leave this. Hold on. Sorry about that. But that was a good phone call to take. Okay, so I have all of these guys. Now this one here is a spare because I had an odd amount in them, odd amount. So, anyways, then what I did, because I'm embracing these, you don't have to, but what I did was I took, and what I should have done is I just give them rounded the corners, just because it just adds a little something. Don't have to do that, but I just, like I said, to me, like I was embracing these, and so it just added. This one. Now I know Suzanne is doing a tutorial as well, so make sure you go over and see hers. As soon as I know hers is up, I'm going to go see it because she always has such fun ways of doing things. Okay. So we are going to want to do this way because I want this to be on the outside. So my very first one is going to be this, and I am going to put this in here. I just noticed that I didn't ink it. Oh well. So because I'm using envelopes, I'm just going to make sure that I keep this out of the way. And I am going to put glue on here. What you also want to make sure that you do or don't do, you want to make sure that you stay just a little ways away from your bend there. Just a little bit. So it gives a nice little freedom to come and go. Or fold properly. You know what I mean. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to put this right like so. And I'm keeping it away just a bit. Another thing you could do is take and ink the, see, I like that, but you see I got it, need to go up a little bit. Looks good, but it needs to come up a bit. There we go. There we go. And we're still a ways away. And then what I was doing was I have some scrap pieces here. And this looks white here because I haven't inked it. I didn't ink it. Didn't ink my you know. So we're just going to do this. Make sure that it goes across there. And then I'm going to trim this up. I got really fancy on doing the other ones, but not so much on this one, because you can get as fancy as you want on these, that's for certain. corner off. Okay, so that is our, like this. Okay, so now our next one, I want this to be somewhat even, so I'm going to put my next this way so that it kind of, when you open them up, it looks like this. Okay, so I am going to go to the other side of my mountain here, and I'm just going to, and we're just going to make sure that we're lined up, and there we go. Now you can put these in and then just cover them with your papers, but like I said, I wanted to embrace them, and I'm just going to and if you want to make sure that it's going to not interfere with the folding, just make sure you do it that way, and then it works. You'll know right away whether it will work or not. It's not very difficult to do at all. Okay, so now we have like so. I see my, oh, that's okay. Okay, and then we covered that. So our next one, I did this one where I tucked the flap into the envelope. And we're make sure we do one at a time. There we go. And line it up. These are scraps pretty much that I had hanging around. And I don't mind that at all. Adds a little bit of fun, a little bit of flavor. And then this one here, we're going to cover it with one of these again. The main thing is to make sure that you're always level. Your everything is straight this way. Now you could get really fancy and you could leave these open and you could slide something in there. That would work too. That would look awesome. And I did that on the other one. I just haven't put anything in there yet. Okay. Oh, let's see where we go. Here we go. And we got one in there. All right. And because I put this in here, we're going to put this way. I'm going to ink that because that's going to bug me. There. Okay, so now we're going to put our glue here. And our next video in the Bind It series will be a live where we will discuss these different types of techniques that we have done here and give you our honest review. Now these here, when I do actually do something with this little book, I'm going to stamp these. Put some numbers in there and whatnots. Okay, let's just get this over here. Shaky. I shouldn't be, but I am. Okay, there we go. Get this off of here. And like so. Okay. Now, this here, we are going to, because this is my cover here, so we're just going to make sure we're right. I like that, I really do. I'm finding a lot of fun in this, learning the different techniques. Okay, so now this one here is, I am going to put this way, and then that will give me one more to make pretty. And what we got? This one here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Alrighty. Let's put this way. Okay. Now, because we're going to use this as our cover, and this is what I meant when I said that it goes, see, and I didn't like that. So I'm going to put glue in there. And this is where you could take and do this and put a little, make this a little strip and slide something in there, whether it be some ribbon, probably a bow, many different options. We're going to put this over here. There we go. And then this, we got this decorated up already. And this is the one that I messed up. And I'm not going to worry about trying to fix it. So we're just going to put some glue on here. And we're just going to place that. Now you can see on this where this is where that binding was not quite, when I did it by hand, and I shouldn't have done that, but I did, and I'm okay with that now. But it does give you that really pretty, and I know that one looks like it's two in there, but it isn't. It just needs to be. And so that's when I decided, when I was doing this one, and it was a little uneven, and it didn't look finished to me. So then that's when I put these around, and then I left them like that, and then that didn't look right to me. So that's when I put the ribbons around there and kind of shrunk them down so you got to see more of that spine. So with these ones here, I'm just going to take and line this up right about like so. I'm going to make this one about the same size. Sorry, still battling that cold. Not near as bad as it was, but I'm just about down to the nitty-gritty of that. I'm going to make that again. It's nice to have it on hand. Okay, and this glue does hold fabric nicely. So I'm just going to take and put this right about like so. I'll put this one right about like so. Let's make sure I'm up where I'm supposed to be. And then you don't want to glue it across here. This is kind of sort of like tab binding, isn't it? But you want to keep it. Could have made that a little longer, I suppose. But that's all right. There we go. We won't get too rambunctious with that. I lost my cap to my glue. Yeah, well, that's tip. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So now we have that nice spine, and these just cover up the stuff that I don't like to look at, but still makes it so that it opens up nicely. And because of the way that I did that one, we don't get one that goes across here. And I'm okay with that. I'm honestly not certain how I achieved that in this one, but I did. But these are actually, I don't mind these little envelope books anyways. They'd be nice little, put your keepsakes in here. Maybe just some photos. Oh, I thought for a moment I put that upside down. I just about had a panic. I just about did, because that would just be the icing on the kind of cake that I've had. Icing on the cake to the day that I've had today. Okay, whatever. So that is my version of the accordion binding. I quite enjoy it. It's not difficult the way that I did it. There are many, many ways to do it, and there's a few ways out there that it's to me, it's quite complicated, but I'm okay with this way. So make sure you go check out Suzanne's and watch for our upcoming live where we will go back through the ones that we've done and give our honest review on them before we carry on to some more techniques. And again, if there's anything that you would like to see, a binding technique that you would like to see done, please, by all means, share it in the comments and we will see what we can do to get it done. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.